The rumors about Dr. Umar Johnson allegedly being arrested, all because he been scamming and scheming for the past 20 years. He been working on building a school, but he acquired millions and the school's still not up and running.
Now, according to IRS Form 990, the filings reveal disturbing financial irregularities, with Jermaine Shermark. That's how he files it. He doesn't file it under Dr. Umar Shermark. It's Jermaine, okay?
And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account. They had no record of my account.
They say pressure exposes everything. One night, the Prince of Pan-Africanism looked into his phone and said his accounts were frozen. No digital cash. No quick transfers. If you could spare a few dollars, he said, send it to Apple Pay or PayPal.
Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency.
The clip ricocheted across the feeds, and a single question detonated. Was this a setup or a slip?
So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifatunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back and open up a new account, please hit my Apple Pay or hit my PayPal.
People hit rewind. They parsed every syllable. Some heard a man under attack. Others heard a last-minute lifeline. But the moment did something no press release could. It dragged a decade-long promise back under the brightest light of all, the internet's memory.
Like, Dr. Umar is not a real person that anybody should be taking any advice from. I hope that we all understand that, but it seems like some folks are surprised.
And that's where the story really starts. Because one plea for help always leads to the ledger. The dream was clean. A school for Black boys built on cultural pride and academic rigor. A campus to call their own. A place with a name loud enough to echo. Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey and ambitions to match.
Peace and Pan-Africanism, brothers and sisters. I'm back again. While I was on the live, the children had snuck into the school, which means they knew the door was unlocked. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. For children to know that a door is opened, and I was only away from the school for 30 days. For children to know that the door was open, and I was only away from the school for 30 days. For children to know the door was open, and I was only away from the school for 30 days, I wonder when they broke in. I wonder when they broke in, because if the children already know the door was open.
Supporters gave, reposted, and waited. Year after year, the opening bell never rang. New date, new push, another almost there. Scroll through the old flyers and live streams, and you can still feel the momentum. You can also feel the fatigue.
According to IRS Form 990, the filings reveal disturbing financial irregularities, with Jermaine Shermark. That's how he files it. He doesn't file it under Dr. Umar Shermark. It's Jermaine, Now, the nonprofit shows assets of $634,436 as of 2024. This is what he's saying that he raised. This is what he reported. Now, you know he go begging inside of that car without a haircut every other day or on the side of the building in which he lives in, because they say his house is right there on a row house in Philadelphia somewhere, According to the IRS filings, this is inconsistent reporting of contributions, Now, while official filings show that only $321,408 in total contributions over the last 5 years, evidence suggests Johnson raised significantly more through other channels.
Long timelines erode patience, and patience is the only currency social media refuses to hold. For some, the story became a loop. Announcements, renovations, and then silence. The faith never fully vanished, but the questions got louder. Was it sabotage, mismanagement, or just how hard it is to build something big in public?
He's reported GoFundMe campaigns, all right, that he's been suspended from through 2014 and 2015 of over $400,000 raised before the account suspension. That's a lot of money for GoFundMe, okay? PayPal donations, approximately $125,000 documented. Speaking fees and direct donations, estimated $750,000. This man raising all this money and ain't got a haircut yet. Total estimated funds, 1.6 to 2 million that they can account for. And this is with them digging. They've been on this, okay? And we're going to talk about how much they've been on this. And that's the reason why that damn school is on the auction block right now. Vacant school that never opened. And he promised to open it in 2013 and kept pushing back the opening date and blamed us. Well, not me, y'all, if y'all donated, as to why it can't open, because black people can't stick together, okay? Even though he was running it like a mom and pop shop.
Promises don't live on vibes. They live on paperwork. If you want receipts over rumors, tap subscribe and turn on all notifications right now, because the next minute follows the money, not the noise. Nonprofits talk. Tax forms testify. The organization behind the school project reported contributions in the hundreds of thousands and listed net assets crossing the $500,000 mark. Those numbers aren't gossip. They're the dry ledger lines the government expects every nonprofit to produce.
You mentioned Umar Johnson, and I don't know what's going on with his school, but I know that
you know what's going on with the school. It ain't been built. Shit, ain't nobody seen the classroom. Just seen the flag hanging out, flying in front of that.
He's been talking about it for 15 years, 16 years or something like that.
Yeah. He been lying. And results is everything.
Yeah.
Results is everything. I ain't never built nothing begging other than Joel Osteen, but his daddy passed him to church.
Yeah, that is true.
His daddy passed. I ain't never seen him build nothing begging.
Here's what that means in plain English. Net assets is what's left after liabilities, not a pile of spendable cash. It can include buildings, renovations, equipment, and restricted funds. So a big net assets number doesn't prove the school is ready. It just proves the organization holds value somewhere on paper. And a checkbox description like operated a school is an organizational label, not proof that a bell rang and students sat for first period. Take it from anyone who's ever opened a campus. A school is a machine. Code upgrades, fire marshal clearances, ADA compliance, utilities current, liability insurance, payroll, curriculum approvals, background checks, the unglamorous bills that come before a single student sits down.
When he was talking about that school about a decade ago, I was for it. I donated to it. And a lot of people, every time Umar does something, they would tie me in.
Really?
Oh, they would always tie me in.
I've never heard about this.
They would always tie anything he did. Hey, Tariq, what's up with Umar? Because I put Umar on. He wanted to use that notoriety to get money for the school. I'm like, hey, I'm all for that. But then when people start seeing all of the excuses, people start getting skeptical, and people start always coming to me, man, what's up with Umar? You and Umar in y'all school. Hey, I don't have, hey, no, y'all school. No, it's not y'all school. No, but you had them in your movies. They just tie me in, and I can't. I said, look, to be honest, I don't think the school is happening. I said this about around 2017, and Umar we fell out because he started kind of attacking me publicly. And, I helped the guy get the truth. Yeah, he started attacking me, and then I started getting in on him. So we fell out. And, I told people back in 2017, I said, let me keep it a bean, man. That school ain't never going to get built. That's just, don't ask me about it again. That's my opinion. It ain't going to get built, man. Just base. If it's going to get built, it would have been built already. It don't take that long.
If any one of those gears locks, the whole engine stalls. And when the engine stalls in public, the internet fills the silence for you. So yes, filings show a real entity, real money, real assets. What they don't show is the missing bridge between ledger lines and a living classroom. And filings weren't the only paperwork problem circling the project. At one point, a state agency told the organization to stop soliciting donations in that state until it registered properly or proved an exemption. A formal cease and desist, signed, stamped, effective immediately. That's not a criminal conviction. It's a regulatory wall that basically says, get the paperwork right before you pass the hat. If your build is donation-driven, that's more than a speed bump. That's a jackknife on the highway. Payment processors start asking pointed questions. Venues want proof. Bigger donors wait. And waiting eats momentum alive. You can feel the whiplash. 1 week you're pitching a vision, the next week you're arguing with forms. Orders like this are unglamorous and easy to shrug off online. But in the real world, they choke a project's oxygen. Slow money means slow progress. Slow progress feeds skepticism. And skepticism is the only wildfire the algorithm never puts out. Into that slowdown came something louder than any letterhead. Thumbnails screamed arrested, feds, RICO. The dopamine hit was instant. But here's the thing about dramatic claims online. Real federal cases leave footprints, public filings, case numbers, official announcements. Without those, you're staring at smoke, not fire. Internet smoke is sticky. It clings to timelines, comments, and memories. It also pays well. Viewer cheat code. The words indicted and charged have receipts you can check. If nobody can point you to the docket, ask why they won your watch time before they show you the paperwork. That one question will save you from 1,000 sensational thumbnails. And while the federal buzz kept trending, an older fight was fully on the record. Years ago, a state board hauled the man at the center of this story into a hearing over accusations that he presented himself as a psychologist without an active license in that state. He pushed back, called it targeting, and told supporters he was being singled out for speaking plainly. Coverage at the time laid out potential fines and made one point crystal clear. When your brand leans on expertise, credentials are currency. Spend them carelessly and trust gets expensive. That hearing etched a lesson into the timeline. For fans, it proved he threatened the status quo. For skeptics, it looked like another chapter in a larger pattern. Big claims meeting bureaucratic headwinds. The culture war narrative hardened. Either the system feared him, or the system kept catching him cutting corners. Then a different identity fight took over. The name above the door. Attach Frederick Douglass to your dream, and you inherit two things: a legacy and a microscope. Repeated claims of a familial connection drew very public pushback from people connected to the Douglass family and from outlets that covered their statements. Whatever you believe about the bloodline, the denial became content, and content became narrative fuel. Why this matters to donors and parents: brand and lineage aren't side quests. They shape trust, press tone, and public patience. If your banner story is contested, every delay looks bigger. Every ask for money lands heavier. The banner on the building isn't just paint, it's a promise. If that promise is argued in public, the argument becomes part of your project whether you like it or not. Meanwhile, the money talk got louder than the mission talk. The most combustible combination online is a viral clip plus missing context. The frozen accounts video shot fuel into the feed. No digital currency. Send help here and here. Supporters heard urgency. Critics heard a red flag. At the same time, posts started circulating about possible auctions tied to unpaid fees and utilities. Some posts read like foregone conclusions. Others asked for receipts that never arrived. That's the danger zone for any public project: real-time drama without real-time documents. Here's the sober reality of municipal finance. If a property falls behind, notices exist, boring public notices on boring public websites. If those notices don't show, auction talk stays in the rumor bucket. It doesn't mean everything's fine. It means the internet is telling a story faster than the institutions that keep records. For a campus build, you need boring victories: cleared inspections, paid utilities, posted permits. The internet won't celebrate them, but banks and city departments will. Skip that cadence and you feed a different beast: speculation. And speculation scales faster than drywall. So the timeline looked like this: a plea video here, rumor threads there, and no definitive paperwork visible to settle the debate in real time. On one side, loyalists. They remember the speeches, the urgency, the promise of a school serving Black boys without apology or compromise. For them, the slow pace is proof the mission threatens the status quo. They see obstacles, not excuses. They see a man under fire, not under suspicion. On the other side, skeptics. They point to the filings, the compliance snags, the licensing fight, the branding dispute, and the whiplash of almost there posts. They hear the frozen accounts plea and ask why a project with years of fundraising still needs emergency digital donations to keep the lights on. They don't want another rousing live stream. They want a calendar date, a bell schedule, and a classroom full of kids. And in the middle sits a quieter group, the undecided, who don't argue in comment sections. They're watching for one thing: evidence. A permit, an inspection sign-off, a teacher contract, a first day photo that isn't a photo op. So here we are. Filings show assets exist, posts show friction exists, the doors remain shut. Whether you call that sabotage, governance, or just unfinished business depends on the lens you bring to the screen. One viral plea for help won't crown a hero or expose a villain, but it does force a choice: believe the narrative or follow the paper. On the paper side, you have a real organization, real numbers, real bureaucracy, and real headaches. On the narrative side, you have a dream that still resonates, a name that still draws a crowd, and a digital stage where every rumor can outrun the truth for a day. Maybe the school opens, maybe it doesn't. Either way, this chapter should change how you watch these stories. Don't let the most dramatic clip do your thinking. Ask for documents, read the numbers, and when someone says the system is after them or the system will vindicate them, look for the proof that systems leave behind. The internet can hype a moment. Paperwork makes a school. Who do you think's going to be the next person in the limelight? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get the latest celebrity news and updates. I'll see y'all on the next one.